This is session 96. Who'd like to give a recap?
I haven't left the city yet. I know that.
Right.
Did a little shopping. Kepri had run away.
You
Sorry.
did a little shopping with, counterfeit, not real money.
Yeah,
So there was some concern that that will come back.
no chance whatsoever.
Not on us.
Right. There is absolutely no way they could trace it back to you.
It's true. They never saw us doing it.
Right. They just saw a bunch of people who, like at least one person who smelled incredibly heavily of lavender. And no one at this hotel is going to remember that they overdosed your room on lavender. The lavender bandits, as you will come to be known, will never be captured. So I assume you guys kept a record of everything that you bought because I didn't write it down at the time.
Presumably.
Like I forget. I know you had to get like 1,000 gold piece gem, and I don't really remember anymore if you got one or two.
What were we buying shit for? Spells, I
components.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you were going to get a jeweled bowl and some gems for planar binding.
What were we gonna do with the planar binding?
You were going to bind a demon or something to serve you for 24 hours. I don't know if you had a more specific plan.
I mean, okay, I think maybe I had figured possibly I could use it on the fucker that has the corrupted Solosary, maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe. I mean,
Right, if he feels it's safe.
yeah.
But I think you got 2 gems in the end. Maybe I'm mistaken though.
I think we did, yeah. I don't think I would have prepared them yet. We got a bunch of like incense and stuff too, so that I could do some
Right. And
other
you
spell
got stuff.
casting.
You got stuff for True Sight.
True Sight and Legend Lore too. I was gonna try and do, I think. See if we can get something more on the Sage or something like that. But we did get Kepri back from some golden dragonborn, right? With wings.
Right. And Peter, did you get my email?
Yeah, I did. I'm looking at that again right now.
See, that was pretty much it. You met with the Golden Dragonborn. Aurelia and Clave were invisible at the time. And then
Yeah.
it turned out that she also had some invisible people hanging around.
Seems only natural. I was doing it. Why wouldn't she?
Right.
It's fine.
And then
maybe it was
Kepri was very disoriented and was having trouble piecing together her memories. She just remembers being like chased and captured.
and hopefully, in case those invisible folks get any bright ideas, I did notice them. So maybe that might be a little, like, oh shit, this motherfucker is like, can this motherfucker see me?
Has Mike fixed his audio yet? it really just plays into the whole, he only speaks through telepathy now.
Mm, yeah.
So anyway, we will let Mike figure out that. Do you need like a couple minutes, Mike, or? Okay, we'll give Mike a couple minutes to fix. So you are back in your hotel. Teal is as pruny as he is ever going to get. You are the proud owner of a small cage that is approximately Capri sized. I don't know if you're going to carry that. It's less bulky than a whole body. So you could probably figure out a way to drag it with you if you wanted it.
I'd rather not have to drag it around.
So if anybody wanted a bird cage, you can have it. Otherwise, I guess you'll just leave it behind.
Yeah, I would just leave it.
So, and it's about, I think, mid-afternoon at this point.
What was all right, we're trying to go, where was our planned first trek to? Try and see the seer, or
Well, I know one thing that we were still trying to debate is what we were going to bring as
yeah, that's true. As our,
as offering.
and that's one of the things I was hoping to maybe get even more insight into with the legend lore. So I can legend lore this dude and see what the spirits and gods have to say about it. I'm pretty sure I prepared it for this day. Yeah, I did. So before we leave, I can do this. So yeah, I already had the 4 ivory strips that I at some point worked on.
Yeah,
think.
you got a big hunk of ivory, Neil Hashat before you went south. So
Mhm.
you should have a number of ivory strips.
And then yeah, this one requires incense worth at least 250 gold pieces that it consumes. So the strips I keep, but just the incense are consumed. So
I do think that that may have been another thing that
Yeah, you
Clave
definitely got
worked on
incense.
purchasing was incense. Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, for sure we did do that. I don't recall how much.
I think it was like 750 gold pieces worth of incense that you got.
Essentially
Yeah,
3
that sounds
castings
right.
of this. All right, yeah, let me write that down somewhere so I have that. Well, I'll have 500 once I do this. So
For some reason, Roll20 has taken a bunch of things from the different folders I had them in and just put them all at the top of the list in the journal. Like things you guys can't see, but I know where they were. And it's like, hey, here's ancient gold dragon. Like right at the top in alphabetical order. Thanks,
Okay.
Roll20.
Sounds like a bonus feature.
Yeah, that happened to me before with the Descent into Infernia game. I ended up like, because it was the purchased module, most of it I just ended up deleting anyways because I threw it out, not used it. So
Yeah, at some point I'm gonna have to go back and resort these down into their folders. But it's slowing me down when I'm looking for things now.
Oh, if that posted anything, it did. Ain't nice.
So you're focused particularly on what sorts of offerings the Sage requires, or what?
I mean, hopefully I could get. I mean, anything perhaps that we don't already know. And then yeah, I mean, specific sorts of if it will, give any clarification on what he might accept as a offering.
So in your head, you begin to almost see images, almost like movies of different people making offerings to the Sage. Most of them seem to be of people just offering up copious numbers of slaves, all of whom die painfully and terrified. So they're definitely not, these are definitely not like willing sacrifices. I guess it depends on how strongly you view your property rights in slaves. I guess maybe only the owner has to be willing, but the individuals being sacrificed definitely were not always willing. You occasionally see people who are sacrificing particularly powerful individuals, including like people who've just been charmed or dominated into accepting this role. In one case, you see someone who comes in and offers up a powerful hero. And the hero attempts to offer up the guy who brought him in. And the Sage winds up killing them both and
Okay.
absorbing both of their souls. And then you begin to see a number of people who failed. They offered too few souls on the order of like only 10 or so souls of just nobody slaves. People who tried to offer up clerics of only moderate power that the Sage determined to be inadequate as a sacrifice. You then see people offering up artifacts of particular historical value. And you do get the sense that it's not so much magical value. What the Sage is interested in is objects of historical curiosity, many of which turn out to be magic, but not all of them.
Historical curiosity.
Right.
Okay.
So, and once this catalog of stories sort of flows through your mind, you would probably pretty quickly realize that there are probably a number of, if you didn't turn over a person, and it's still a little unclear to you exactly, how do you gauge the power of the person? Because it seems to be up to the Sage, and the Sage's appetite varies.
Hmm.
But objects, at least, you would realize that, I mean, if you could find whatever's left of Philosophy, that almost certainly would count. Probably the crown would count.
Yeah. I figured
Probably
that
you
that
would
would-
imagine the giant would be powerful enough on his own. You don't really know so much about Turbo, but she's kind of halfway in both camps. Like she's sufficiently old that maybe
Right.
she counts as a historical curiosity all on her own.
She might just be a curiosity.
Right. T-Hole's urn definitely would count as a historical curiosity.
I doubt that'll happen.
The wand probably would count. The flying castle, you're not sure, but the bigger problem is
How do you get it there?
yeah, how do you get it into the cave to turn it over to him?
It's like,
If
hey man,
only- right.
come here, come check this out.
Like you feel like the deed to Mordenkainen's mansion, which is itself a magical object, probably would be like a borderline case that maybe the sage wouldn't be interested in if you had it.
Like maybe we can convince him, possibly, sort of, maybe.
Right. Well, you do get the sense that there's never much of like when you come in, generally speaking, every time, every instance you saw, the sage already knew what you were offering. The only one where there was sort of a twist was where the potential sacrifice tried to turn around and sacrifice the guy who brought him.
Right.
Every other time, the sage essentially just seems to always know why you're there and seems to know what you brought him as an offering and already seems to have made up his mind whether or not he's going to accept it or not. And if he's not, he generally just kills everyone.
Okay.
How does he murderize them?
That is very unclear. You learned before you're not supposed to look at the sage or else you will die. But everybody dies in their own special way.
It's the Ark of the Covenant. The sage is the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
So, but I will say, if you want to ask me specific questions, your Zarius would now have a particular insight into whether or not something would be acceptable.
I mean, first I would sort of explain or, tell everybody kind of what I saw. Explain to them as best as I can, I guess. Like the nature of what's going on, but I don't know if I don't know.
I mean, right now, so many of the unique items you have access to would be probably acceptable. Like I said, if you can get Turbo there, she almost certainly would be acceptable. Taking Shauk would almost certainly be acceptable if you can get him there.
Right. I mean, if we could
Although
dominate them.
Right. Probably the Ox-Headed Demon, if you could go and planar bind the Ox-Headed Demon. If he is a demon lord, he would certainly be powerful enough. If he's, somewhere lesser than a demon lord, it would depend on how powerful he is. You get the sense that of your group, if you tried to just turn over any one of your group except for T-Hole, the answer would be no. T-Hole is the one person in your group who probably would pass muster. And that's, again, just because of his history, not because of his power level.
And he's the one member of the group who is not here.
Right. Which makes him easy to turn over.
Yes.
I don't know, man. We got some high level spells. Maybe once we get like 9th level spells, one of us would survive. That's pretty epic level shit right there. So yeah, I mean, there's that. And even so, I assume it's probably still it's unclear yet if as a last ditch effort we have to offer up somebody, like if we could offer up T-Hole with his strange resurrection, would that be hampered? Can I have any insight into that? Like, can we I'm not saying we should offer him. I'm just saying it's all other options are off the table.
Right. T-Hole and Turbo are sort of interesting cases because normally when he takes live offerings, it's to consume them. But in their case, that's not why you would be taking them. he probably would imprison them. Like they would become trophies essentially in his
Oh.
collection.
Gotcha.
Though, I mean, it's not necessarily clear what would happen if something directly destroyed, like consumed T-Hall's soul. He might not be able to resurrect from that.
Okay. Well, there's that. I don't think that we can properly offer T-Hole because they'll probably just keep him.
And
T-Hole may also just have a problem with it in general.
Again, last ditch effort.
So this does validate Clave, though, that Turbo would be a fair target, but I do think the idea of Solastri is interesting too. Just me as a player. But it is cool to know that the giant would also be cool. So it seems like we have a couple of different directions we can go, but certainly can't head there now. And we do have that battle that may be happening within the next couple weeks.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would never. All right, so yeah, I mean, maybe it's worth it for us to, I mean, it's gonna be some time, but it might be worth going and preparing for the battle. And seeing what we can get from that battle. Perhaps if we can beat and subdue the Giant King, we could use him.
This was exactly what I had recommended earlier. So I'm certainly in favor of moving forward with that plan. The only thing is then what do we do in the interim? Perhaps we use that time to find Turbo and we double our prospects for a successful offering.
Perhaps get 2 answers.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought the lore said that the sage only answers
One question per person, right?
Per year.
Oh, for the whole year.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
there's probably a sign outside that says questions already taken. So
Yeah.
closed for the year.
yeah,
Come back and
There's just a thing saying
365 year days.
take a number, and there's only
Yeah.
one slip in it, and it'll be
Yeah.
empty when you get there.
yeah. There'll be some people waiting.
Waiting all year for this.
Damn it.
so. We have a lot of time before the battle. And we also have assassins that are apparently after us. Probably sent by that bitch Turbo. It's becoming more and more clear, if it wasn't already, how much Clave loathes Turbo.
Kill a guy once, never lets it go.
I mean, I know he's not here to say anything, but I do recall T-Hole not being a huge fan of sacrificing the ex-wife or offering her up.
T-Hole is wise, and it does deserve our respect. However, I disagree that I think that Turbo is a threat to the world, the Empire, and as she's clearly doesn't seem to mind too terribly about our lives. Perhaps she would spare T-Hole if we were to encounter her again, but certainly probably not as anything short of a prisoner or sex slave, depending on her proclivities.
You never know with that lot.
Oh, and it probably would occur to you now that it's come up that also possibly almost certainly acceptable as a sacrifice would be Bucknard, depending on where he is.
Him, I might be able to get behind. He's really old. And what else did we get from that place?
I mean,
From
you
the
got
mansion.
Mordenkainen and Spellbook, but you gave that away to other Daggerface.
Hmm.
That would probably not actually have been acceptable because, I mean, it's old, but it basically just sat in Mordenkainen's home forever and nobody ever did anything with it.
It's just got spells that everybody has.
No, it's got spells that nobody has except whoever has that book now. But, you know, that's not something that would be of general interest to the sage. The sage may already know the spells, hard to say. It was kind of outside his domain, though. Oh, now Tony's having headphone problems.
Oh,
They're cracked. Like right here at the right here. So it's like loose on my head. And it's just becoming more and more loose.
So there are many candidates for things or people you might sacrifice. They're just all, the only one in your possession at the moment is T-Hole and the urns. So, and T-Hole doesn't want to give up either of those.
I mean, theoretically, the horn.
Yeah, the
It's really
horn also,
old, right?
it's really old, but it doesn't exactly have like the storied history. So that would be kind of borderline. You're not as sure about that.
the what now? The horn?
Yeah.
The horn you have.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was
This-
all right.
Might not be good.
I mean, it's
wouldn't
extremely
even think.
powerful. So if he were only interested in magical power, that problem certainly would fit the bill. It's probably more powerful than a lot of other things. It's definitely more powerful than a lot of other things he's accepted because not all of those objects are even magical. But you don't know that much about the history of the horn.
Right.
or
Right.
who's used it, or, you know, how important it's been in history.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's sort of on you guys to figure out, you know, what you want to go after. Because most of them will involve leaving the city.
Right. Um,
Or maybe you just like go to the Oasis and have that battle first and then go after Xialk. For all you know, Turbo will be at that battle.
if she doesn't believe herself to be killed, she might be there. Yeah, I don't know. Might be worth it to go deal with this battle, prepare, scout the area. Set up for an ambush.
Well, even if we were to do that, I mean, it's gonna be several weeks before the forces are in place. And even then, making sure that the news travels and as we're hoping, it's still gonna take some time.
Hmm.
I mean, we certainly could just use it perhaps as a bit of a vacation. We have been kind of running ourselves ragged, facing dragons and ancient constructs and the forces of the corrupt empire.
Could spend some time performing whatever enchantments might need to be worked on. Whatever we do, it should probably not be within the city. If we are being hunted, we do not wish to be here.
I mean, that's another thing where we could use our time on. We can find out who exactly is hunting us and perhaps turn the tables.
Could be. There are many people whom we have made angry. At least as many as we have helped. How would we set up to track this? Presumably we would attempt to set our own ambush.
I mean, we already have had some contact with the vampire that may have been the assassin or may have been the one to warn us. I think that that would be the first place that I would start seeking this person out.
Well, at night I can message them to see what they have to say. Try and set up a meeting. It does us no good to do it in the middle of the day. considering the nature of the being. The question is, do we stay here or do we find another inn?
I mean, we could try to set a trap, perhaps. By staying in the same place, and especially while my spell work is active, I have pretty good control over the environment.
Well, let us do that.
Before I forget, Zarius, for what it's worth, Kepri's confusion with what happened to her sounds a lot like the modified memory.
Can that be reversed?
Anything's possible with action points.
I always prepared to spell magic. But I don't know if that qualifies as a candidate for such a thing.
Well, wait, what do we, when was Capri's memory modified?
Well, obviously on her, wherever her trip was when she left, at some point it was.
The dragon that found her, perhaps? Do you think that they?
Yeah, could have been her.
Can it be reversed?
I don't know.
Ordinarily, Aurelia would be vaguely aware that ordinarily once the spell has ended, the memory has just been changed. But like Peter said, anything's possible with action points.
Well, I mean, I'll dispel with an action point.
Okay.
Do I have to upcast it at all, or?
Well, I mean, if you don't want to make the check, then you're gonna have to beat modify memory. That's 5th level spell.
I mean, I don't expect to be doing very much more. So yeah, I mean, I can cast it at 5th level. I'm all right with that.
Okay, so you cast a spell and almost immediately you see Kepri starts shaking her head and then says, I was flying to find our patron. And then this dragonborn just started flying after me. Wait, we have to go save our patron. Why did I come back? I remember she was whispering to me that I wanted to come back and stay with you. And to convince you to go save our patron, but you had already said no. Is there a window? She's looking around for a window.
No. There is no window.
She's invisibly now flying around the room, saying that she needs to go save your patron.
I
I cast modify memory and tell her we did. No, I'm just kidding.
I start communicating to her that we're still not at a point where we can save her. We're not there yet.
What do you mean we're not at a point? Like, when are we gonna be at the point? All of the plans you guys are discussing, none of them involve going to save her. And I get it, if you have bigger and more important things for you to do, but I have to go save her. I can try to find allies along the way.
She will kill you if you try.
Whatever's happened to her, there's got to be a way to restore her to her former glory. She is a goddess.
These are all things I have been thinking about. And until I can come up with a plan or have a better idea as to what has happened to her, it is unsafe. As you say, she is the most powerful. We do not stand a chance if she is angry. She will kill us.
And that Dragonborn said she wanted me to come back to be their eyes and ears, but I don't understand what that means. Since I don't have any way of getting in touch with her.
Well, with that, I'm going to cast
Yes.
Detect Magic.
My headphones are working again.
Randomly for now.
Wait, no,
Did you turn?
no, they're not now. I can't hear. Damn it. This bullshit.
The
We can hear
headphones-
you.
Stop.
Can you hear me? Can you
So
hear me?
actually, you cast detect magic on her and you don't sense anything out of the ordinary
Okay.
at the moment.
Sure.
Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, wait a minute. Oh, you fuckers. You
The headphones giveth and the headphones taketh away. That's what we've learned here.
Yeah.
So Kepri is still, well, I guess you know what, Sarius, give me your persuasion check.
Make it a good one.
I am not very persuasive. It should be known. Persuasion. Fucking hell.
So she is still zipping out of the room and now you, Zarius, you just hear her incessantly demanding to let her out.
Um, God damn it. Do I have it prepared by chance? Probably not. So I will just sort of speak firmly into her mind. Say, calm yourself. Do you think she would like to see this flustered version of you? Incapable of controlling herself.
Probably not, but I think she would like the state she's in even less. She needs someone to go and save her. And if that means my death, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
But if your life could actually save her, then perhaps you should stay with us.
Nothing else, at least I can gather more information while I'm down there. I know secret ways around those caves.
All the more reason why you should stay with us so that we could be aware of those secrets.
So actually, all of this would have been telepathically between her and
Oh.
Zarius.
That's
So-
fair, yeah.
No, but that's a great idea. For whenever we need to go there, would it not be good for us to know our way through those caves? With your help,
Possibly.
with your guidance, we would have that.
Possibly, but it doesn't seem like that's your top priority. It is my top priority. I'm not stopping you from engaging whatever mission you want to go on. And I don't think you should stop me.
Do you know where this Tefnut Oasis is?
I'm vaguely aware of it. I've never been there. Or if I passed through it, I didn't realize that that's the oasis I was in.
I will, yes, I'll just reassure her. I will not stop you. You are not mine to control. But I would request that you go discreetly. Be cautious, because many demons are capable of sensing those who are invisible. Gather intel, then bring it to us. The more we know, the better we can help.
And you'll go and save her.
It will give us an idea as to what we need to do. We need information. You are dead set on going. I cannot stop you.
Very well, I
Find
will
that
find
cage.
you.
What?
I said we could put her in the cage. We could stop her.
I didn't say we couldn't stop her. I said I will not stop her.
No, you said we can't.
Yeah,
Can't
that's right.
stop.
That's
so
right. It's fine.
That's fine. I'll collect information and then find you again.
And here, look at this map. Just point out where the oasis is supposed to be.
And she looks.
You are going here. At this point where our patron is, and then point to the oasis.
What I don't understand is why won't you just come with me? Think how much easier it would be if we could just turn into clouds.
Is this conversation happening out loud?
No, still not.
Oh.
In fact, through the telepathy, you realize she was asking, why don't you, Zarius, come with me? Not, why don't you, the party?
Right. Because if I did that, I have to make a new character right now.
What? Level 14 should only take what? An hour?
Right.
Which is a far cry from third edition. It would take a fucking day.
I could do it. I could do that pretty quickly. I got D&D Beyond. Making a 14th level character is a piece of cake. It would have to be a martial class because there's no fucking way I could pick a bunch of spells though. Anyway.
I'm reluctant to lose our healer. The one person that has kept us alive.
Right. The
That's fair.
and both of your create food and water casters.
Yeah.
And I'm the reason why we could move so easily through the desert.
It's true. Think
I
of the
got it.
story potential for the DM if everybody has to walk everywhere.
Right. I got it. I'm gonna make a fighter cavalier. My mount is a camel.
Your mount can be the camel man that we saw.
There you go.
And then you
That
just
feels
ride around
degrading.
him. But it's not, you're not really riding on him. It's more piggyback because he stands on two legs.
Right. No. I can't make a cavalier until I have a partner who's willing to make a centaur monk so that I could be a halfling cavalier and ride him. So we have that centaur monk who's capable of running across water with
I
me
fucking-
on the back with a fucking
I-
pike just fucking
I
poking
can-
at
yeah.
people.
Now I'm just imagining your wife saying, like, you keep pitching this idea, and I keep saying no.
The problem with the centaur is their mortal flaw. Stairs.
They can go up them just fine. You get that monk high enough, you can just run along the wall to get down.
Yeah, that's why you need a monk, so you can have the free fall ability.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. It's this is an amazing character. I don't know.
All right, we're all going to see the dragon. Let's go.
Let's all get killed so we can make these characters.
And not tell Dustin.
Still stuck in the lavender. All right.
So Teal is expectantly looking at you to follow her now. You could just cast
Khepri?
Windwalk now. Khepri. You could just cast Windwalk now and, get what's his name to open a window and we'll just fly right out of here.
Whatever his fucking name is.
Darius, what does she want?
She will be going to see the patron.
Oh, like last time? How well
Very
that
similar,
worked?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, like, Zarius is extremely tempted.
You just
Well-
hear in your mind, do it, do it, do it.
How? So Clave would ask the question because he's now pondering it semi-seriously. How long would it take to reach the lair of your patron?
Uh,
Under the
I
effects of our
mean,
Windwalk,
right.
or on her own.
With the Windwalk.
So she says aloud, well, I don't know exactly, but given how fast we travel, 3 or 4 days.
We do have a few weeks until the battle. It might not hurt to at least gather some information and check on your patron. It did seem like there was foul magic afoot in her state, but
It's no crazier than the other list of crazy ideas we got, so I mean,
mm, yeah.
I will take very little convincing to go. If we are decided to all go.
I think it's important that we have a plan. I don't want to risk encountering your patron and being eaten by a dragon much bigger and older and meaner than the one that we faced that was half starved, trapped in the cavern.
Oh, she's far more powerful than that one.
My point
older.
exactly.
well, that's
And
why we
that-
have Zarius and Kepri. I hopefully can reason with her.
I do not know. Because I do not know what afflicts her. It is possible that her own divine magics are sustaining her. Keeping her from something. I do not know. Do not know what.
I mean, it did seem, based on the state that she was in, similar to some kind of lichkin, but there were differences. I mean, she still had flesh that seemed to be living as well on her body, if I recall correctly. So it actually, that may be an accurate assessment, Zarius. She might be in a state of transition, and this perhaps might be the best time to intervene to prevent your patron from befalling whatever curse that's been set upon her.
So this is the ancient copper dragon.
Yes. Yeah, is there no way just to fly in, raise her from the dead to bring her dead parts back to life?
I do not believe
Anything's
it will work that
possible with
way.
action points, Kepri. You know that.
I kind of like to think that Aurelia does have like a fourth wall breaking ability and actually said that. And everybody's like, what the what?
Well, if we get down there, we could move, like I said, we might be able to find out what's going on. It may just, there may be some sort of other influence that we're not aware of that we can't see. And if we can get this dragon at least partially on our side, neutral would be better than having somebody against us.
If we could free her from whatever it is, it could be a good boon, a great boon for us.
Well, Zarius, is there any way for you to magically get a sense of the lay of the land around her lair?
If I had been there, I could, or I s- I may be able to scry upon the land. But I know familiarity is important. Yeah, no, I have to have seen the place. I don't imagine I ever went there in my time.
Not into her lair. Although
No, yeah.
you do know her lair is pretty extensive. Like she didn't have like one particular chamber that she was always like one big cavern she was always in. It's a
Right.
series of interconnected caverns that run for several miles. So the
Yeah.
whole thing she considered to be her home.
Do we wish to? What is it you wish to see?
Well, I think it would be good to know if the area is besieged by demons or giants or some other monster that we're liable to come across. We already know that the land is filthy with demons. The area around her lair, I mean, it's likely going to be more dangerous given the presence of your patron if she has been turned or does not see us as friendly. But just being able to get a sense of what we're getting into, information is always helpful.
Well, I would have made pilgrimage to the area in my youth, though I've not been inside. Perhaps we could see the outside, the area.
That could be helpful.
If we are laying a trap for tonight, I am using a lot of resources.
Well, there's no rush on the
It will take us some time, yes.
That's a good question then. Do you want to lay the trap tonight? Zarius, are you how
Unless
are
we
you
are
feeling
leaving, then
after
it
your
does not
spell
matter.
work? What's that?
Unless we are leaving, then we could just go and not care about this assassin. I'm sure it is not the only organization who is after our lives.
True, but I'd feel better with one less thing chasing after me in the night.
Well, perhaps we can speak with this vampiric daughter of T-Holes. Or granddaughter, or great-granddaughter. Who knows?
Wait, that's something as a player I forgot. The vampire looked like T-Hole? Or
Definitely
was
look
it-
related.
I'd forgotten that.
I completely forgot that. How old is this ancient dragon?
I'm not sure if Zarius would know for sure, but Kepri would say she's at least 4,000 years by the human calendar.
Hmm. I guess it's probably good we're not bringing T-Hole. I don't know how they would react.
Wait, you're leaving T-Hole behind? That'll be news to Dustin. Hey Dustin, you have to make a new character.
Surprise!
Oh, I mean, this dragon they could be related too.
I doubt it.
Well. Let's shift gears and talk about the trap.
I just like hold up his hand and look at Kepri.
Yeah,
Is this
Kepri,
acceptable?
Kepri, who's still been invisible. Now that you're talking about going south, she settles down again and lands on your shoulder.
That's fine. Like maybe it's probably like a slice of cheese or something. I was like, give her a piece of cheese. It's
She
like a
eats the
fancy
cheese.
establishment. They've got to have cheese there.
Yeah, there's definitely cheese in the room. Kepri loves cheese. She's lactose intolerant, but she loves cheese.
Same.
I am also remembering that we might only have this night here. Because I think T-Hole only was willing to pay for a single night
Right.
and he paid up front.
Because he had to use his real money here.
Yeah. So I can't remember. Have we already slept here? Or are we still?
Yeah,
in the
we've
same
been here
game?
one night.
Yeah,
right?
It's at least one night, yeah. Yeah, we've been here one night.
maybe they tried to come in to evict you, but big rocks in the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We just hear guards start banging on the door area. Just hear T-Hole yelling, "Go away!"
Yeah, no, T-Hole would inform you that they did come by and he did pay for a second night
Oh, okay.
while you guys were out.
That's much more convenient. All right, so here's what I'm thinking in terms of a trap. We open up the room to appear as it was mostly. I set up a false wall that we can see through. That would keep us safe behind it, so that we can observe. While illusory dummies are sleeping in the bed or beds.
How would they know to come here?
Well, if with this assassin, we got here in wind form. I don't know anybody that would be able to track that. And we have been very careful in using disguises as we're traveling through the city. And so based on that, I'm thinking that this, whether it's the assassin or the vampire, whatever, they have some ability to track us beyond visual confirmation and following us.
Well, when it comes to the effects of the scrying, it does not care what you look like, only who you are. All they have to do is Farsi. But we have to assume that they are doing that at all times.
So, but still, they wouldn't be able to see through the illusion, would they?
They will see us.
but
The
not as we
focus-
are.
I, as a player, know that there's a specific item that lets you see through illusions as you're scrying, but no, it would see whoever you appear to be at the time, but they would know that it is you.
Right. So we could make it a bit easier and have one of us just kind of travel around the, or even just have us as a group travel around publicly, making very public displays, and then very visibly returning to this place and finding a place to change back into our disguise selves so that the hospital or the hospitality staff don't question our presence here.
I was originally intending to send a message to the one who left the note so that we can attempt to meet.
We could do that too. Why don't you send that message and see what they say?
What time is it?
It's afternoon.
It is still the day.
Oh,
Would
correct.
they not be slumbering? Yes.
Okay.
So obviously I would
Well-
have to wait to do that, but
I will keep the windows. I'll change the windows so that they're slatted, so that a person couldn't come through, but somebody in, oh, I don't know, some kind of misty form might be able to traverse the barrier. And Clave does that. There's an immediate rush of warm air. It kind of hits you in the face since the room was being cooled as a closed container, a little bit harder to cool with the windows open.
close the door, the air's on. I can tell her to enter through the window.
Okay.
Is there
Anything that
anything-
we have to do in the meantime?
That's what I was going to ask. I don't have anything at the moment.
Aurelia doing anything?
Nope, just waiting.
I'd ask Clave and I guess Aurelia, because I think it might be a spell that's available to bards, but do either of you have the capability of seeing something that is invisible?
No.
I can't quite see something that may be invisible, but I can detect the thoughts of a creature. I can use a spell to allow me to do that. It's a short-lived spell, though. It's only lasts a minute.
not worth it. I only ask of the invisibility because the scrying that I do and that others are certainly capable of doing can be spotted.
I would just throw in there, Clave would absolutely be aware that you could try to use your Cloak of the Arcanist to see invisibility.
Oh, yes, that's right. I could. So,
And detect
Uh,
thoughts is a creature you can see.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We need a pet intellect of our. That way we always know where everybody's
Oh,
at.
yeah. It is only within that you can see. I do like the idea of that you can detect the thoughts of creatures that you can't see. My version, I'm changing that.
That's a higher spell. That's become like intellect of our. Those guys are blind.
I mean, you know, it's a thought to bear in mind. Maybe you need to create like a detect mind spell.
Oh, that would be cool.
In it. Material components, a segment of an intellect of our brain.
That would make sense.
Yeah. That's why the spell's never been made. Because those things are not very common. Pets of mind flayers.
I mean, you fought some. Zarius did. So
Did we fight intellect of ours? Just
yep,
the mind
in
flayer. Yeah, I don't remember.
there
It's
was
been a while.
yeah, when you first got into the temple, there were like 3 of them that attacked you. Unfortunately, none of them got to teleport into anyone's head.
Yeah, I almost did once in a game. I was this close. I got him down, but then he got blown away by a friggin' gust of wind. Like, no.
Yeah,
the-
intellect of hours are the one thing scarier than shadows. Intellect of hours.
Right. Because at least strength isn't always a dump stat, but
Right.
intelligence a lot of times is.
Right. Only the wizards are eager to go charge the intellect of hours.
But even then, like, if you fail,
Right.
it fucks you up real good.
Let's take a 5-minute break.
All right.
I just found a creature who, among its special traits, seems like it almost has whiplash damage.
Nice.
Don't tell Mike.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna be fighting some, so you might figure it out. We seem to have lost Mike.
Said he had to reboot.
Yeah, he didn't even have any video.
I had to hastily like find a map that could like double as like a fancy hotel room. And now I have to ask Mike how he's gonna change it. Cause I don't really know. Other than like big rocks in front of the door.
Speaking of hotels and shit, I got a thing for work next weekend. Basically, every year, except for like the last couple of years because of COVID and shit, but they're getting back to it this year. But every year they like pay for everybody's room at a hotel down in Lake of the Ozarks for like a big company meeting. Where they go, where they can talk about like the goals for the upcoming year and
Mhm.
shit like that, and talk, give out special shout outs and shit like that, like whoever's. So they have like this thing called the President's Club where everybody, exceptional performers essentially, get invited to someplace. I don't know if that's in the same location every year, but it's like another special outing with the company that's completely paid for.
So is it
But-
something that people generally look forward to, or is it just like a company function that you just have to go to?
You don't have to go. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
generally speaking, and so basically the whole idea is this, it's an all day thing, but like it's all culminates into a big party where all booze is paid for, sort of deal.
Because I remember when I like was fresh out of law school, the firm I worked at, I worked in the New York office of a firm that's its biggest office was in Chicago. And so every year they would like fly all the new people out to Chicago to like have sort of like an orientation. But so like a dozen of us from New York went out, And when we got back, it turned out somehow we had spent like an average of about $12,000 a person in New York on like food and drink. So they decided to never hold that ever again.
Yep.
Because every night, like you were supposed to go to like all these orientation meetings. But a lot of people got so drunk the night before they just missed those. And then every night we're out till like 4 a.m. And if anybody ever, like a waiter ever comes up and is like, would you like to see our wine list? Oh, just bring us your most expensive bottle. This is all expenses paid.
Right, all expenses paid, which means we're gonna rack that shit up.
And then I remember we took a certain sense of pride every year afterwards, telling all the new people they used to have this thing. But yeah, we ruined that for you. You don't get that anymore. That was in the good old days though, before like they could just our firm, this was like, year 2000. And so like law firms were not really comfortable using the internet at all. So like the notion of doing like some big video conference would never have occurred to them. This was back in the day where when you would work on things, like people didn't even use email to send like communications to clients. You had to FedEx everything to clients.
FedEx. Because you sure as fuck ain't gonna fax it.
Well, yeah, sometimes you would fax things, but often it was like, the stuff we worked on was always like hundreds of pages of documents. So you'd have to be pretty desperate to fax something that long. But sometimes people did that.
Mm.
It was good though, because it was like, you could sit down and work on something and know that when you got done with it, it was going to take a day to get there. And then they were going to have to read it. And then they would like send you comments back. And that would take like a day to get to you. Maybe they would fax you the comments. That was always a pain, but usually they'd send you like a markup via FedEx. And then like law firms got used to email, and suddenly it was like, just work on that tonight and then email it out by tomorrow morning so that they can read it tomorrow and then get you comments by tomorrow night. So then you can stay up again all night working on like technology never seemed to help. It always seemed to screw you somehow. And it used to be like way before even my time, it used to be that you would work on a document and then you would take it to a professional printing house, and they would take like 2 days to print up all of your like handwritten notes into a nice document that you could send to people. And then computers came along and word processors and fucked that up and shortened the process down. Oh, I didn't even see he was in the room.
All right, my video is starting to not work now again.
How did your headphones do that?
Yeah.
Really struggling there, man.
I don't get it. Whatever.
I could maybe use some of my work tools remote into your computer and have a look. It is within my capabilities.
Is Peter still away?
No,
I'm
he
here.
was back.
Oh.
I think, yeah, Peter doesn't show his face unless everybody's on camera.
Okay. Tony, afterwards, maybe.
So let me shift you guys and figure out where I am too. So now, Mike, you get to tell me, you guys are basically here. This is what your hotel room would have looked like when you got here. I have no idea what changes you have made to this room.
Oh. probably. Let's see.
Wow.
Yeah, I think largely the only differences would have been the tub, the cooling system, and the boulders on the doors, and then changing the windows. So not too much else would have been altered. Maybe some nice rugs. Or something. Or maybe an interesting like kind of jello like surface of the floor, but doesn't break. So you're just kind of standing on the top of the jello film. That could be interesting.
Where would you
every-
even get this idea?
Just popped in there.
Right. So there are rugs on Jello or Jello on rugs. So this, by the way, here is the tub. There was a tub here when you got the room. So everybody can just picture those changes. There are no longer any windows. This is the main door. But now there are giant rocks in front of it that I could probably find easily.
And the windows now, a few of them are I would return to normal, except that they would be slatted to prevent entrance. Like somebody could come in if they were like misty formed or whatever, or maybe polymorphed or shape changed into something smaller. Because I am trying to invite that option for somebody to come in right now.
That's too much rock. So which windows do you want to be slatted?
Go this one and this one.
Okay, that's too much trouble to change that. Just remember it's those two windows. So night rolls around. What message are you sending to this vampiress?
I guess first I will, confirm, is everybody okay, comfortable with me with inviting this being in here?
I'm comfortable if it intends to come in peace so that we can discuss. Otherwise, we'll do what we need to do.
All right. Then I shall invite invite her here. Well, I guess, and we'll see what she says back, I guess. So, let's see. Let's see here. What's the name? I don't know the name of this inn. I forgot what it's called.
I forget what it was called too. Something of Paradise.
Well, whatever the name of the place is. I'll just tell them we are in the luxury suite of that inn. if you wish to discuss the assassination attempts that are apparently forthcoming.
You hear back, I have no need to discuss the assassination attempts with you. I was just warning you to annoy the people who attempted to hire me.
What'd they say?
That they have no need to discuss any of it. That they were just trying to annoy someone.
Well, who is that someone? Maybe they just tell her, come over and have a slumber party. We would like to annoy them too. Maybe we can work out an arrangement.
It will be my last 3rd level spell. I guess I'll cast it again. It's like it would be awfully difficult for us to annoy anyone if we do not know who to annoy. Perhaps this could be discussed.
And you hear back, oh, that. Well, the who is a number of different people, all of whom are associated with the cult of Vecna. They seem to very, very strongly want you dead.
Primarily the cult of Vecna,
Oh,
who apparently despise us most.
Interesting.
She showed no inclination towards coming here.
It's a good way to walk into a trap.
Well, it is helpful at least that we can be sure that she's not involved in the assassination attempt. But doesn't really help our situation much. Maybe we should proceed with trying to set the trap and see if we can lure our would-be assassins into a controllable setting such as this.
I don't know how we would lure anyone here. This is, at the moment, our last night.
Yeah, but if these assassins are worth their salt, they should still be able to find us. I mean, as you said, if they're using magic, it wouldn't matter that we're disguising ourselves.
Well, it should be known that I'm now more diminished than before, but with all of us, I should be okay.
Okay.
If we think it will happen tonight.
Well, we can keep our fingers crossed, I suppose.
How will we do this?
Do what?
Cross your fingers.
I mean, as I said, I can set up a fake wall and illusory dummies. That would allow us to safely monitor the situation. And since it is the nighttime, we could take shifts in everything.
Then let us prepare.
All right, before we do that, I do have to do something. Because it's not usual that I need to cast this more than once, but 8 hours just ain't enough.
You need that extend spell, like Zarius keeps saying. Next time we get a feat. So you're putting dummies in the bed. Where's your invisible wall?
Good question.
Or whatever you're setting up. I don't know if you said, I thought you said invisible wall, but that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, a false wall that we can observe through.
Mhm.
So I would probably what I would do is I'd probably eliminate this room here. Is that supposed to be the master one? It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I would probably eliminate this room here, like create a wall right here. And then remove the tub and instead place a couple of comfortable chairs or cots or some things that we can relax in and take turns watching through peepholes that I would put in the wall.
So you wanted a wall like going this way or what?
Yes. Exactly like that.
Okay.
T-hole's bitching because the tub's been taken away. How am I supposed to get my soaking?
Yeah, Theo is in the tub,
Yeah,
holding onto the sides, going, no, no.
you can't take it from me.
So you're gonna rest here behind this wall. That's where everyone's gonna be.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, somebody roll me a D12. Okay. So what order are you gonna go in to keep watch?
Well, I feel like Zarius is gonna want to be up with the dawn again. So
If I'm
I
above
would
it,
be I would be fine with taking the first or second watch.
Okay.
just make T-hole make the first.
So sorry, who's second? Just Aurelia second?
Yep.
Okay, so nighttime comes, the place starts to get a little cold, but the heating and cooling system in the floor serves to heat up the room a bit. Probably it's about 2 a.m. when all of you begin to hear well, I guess I'll describe what Aurelia you see in the pile of rocks down at the far end of the hall next to the main door. You see something almost effortlessly seem like it moves through it. And it looks almost like an alligator's bony snout. And it just crunches down and begins eating the rocks,
Okay.
mulching them up like butter.
Okay.
And into the room, you see this steps.
Oh, nice.
We got full traits here. Attack actions.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I'm not looking.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
mean-
looking.
I didn't look.
I mean,
We've-
it is essentially a monster that ignores all of your resistances. That's what matters.
Wonderful.
The whiplash monster.
Oh, I remember
Oh,
this thing. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure
We fought this thing at one time, didn't we? It's something else.
you in your game. Long
Didn't we?
time ago. This is what me and fucking Mike's character argued over for 45 fucking minutes.
So 4 of these creatures seem to have come into the room.
4 of them. Oof.
Yes.
Maybe I do
Uh,
want to read through this stuff now.
Look at that again. Yeah, I start waking people up. We got guests. We got guests.
Start. Wake. Do they appear to know? I guess we'll just kind of watch to see if they come at us, like actually at us.
Do
They are not coming directly at you. They cross the room and seem to be headed for the bedrooms.
do they have any, or do we any of us recognize these things?
You can make a history check.
I'm not trained, so I'm not even going to try.
So you
Yeah.
would be aware that, at least of stories of these things, they are aberrations. Nobody's exactly sure where they come from. They're ancient. And you're not aware of any reports of them that aren't sort of ancient and almost at this stage mythological. They're just incredibly ancient aberrations that probably are in some way tied to the void.
Oh,
But they can be, so occasionally it's thought that wizards summon them.
Okay.
And you would know that they're somehow tied to this special weapon they have, this mouth-like weapon. And that they can essentially just know where that weapon is, wherever it might be on the same plane as they are.
Okay. I'm gonna whisper to Zarius and Aurelia as I see them start to move and say, they're lined up. I'm gonna blast them.
So anyway, I started blasting.
So I am going to use my action to change the room so that the wall is no longer there. And I will let me. I'll step forward right here. I think that should, but
God damn it. Can't
Yep.
select the wall.
and and Clave is going to use an action point to take another action, a second action.
Okay, so wait, what were you doing the first time?
I used
Just-
my action to
okay.
remove the wall, and then
Okay,
I step
so-
forward.
So you get a surprise round, but we should roll for initiative.
Okay. Before I go on, I'll roll for initiative. Wow.
Okay, click on the token.
Damn. Everyone's fast but serious.
That's not a surprise.
All right, so can I proceed with using my action point to take a second action?
Yep.
And Clave will hold his hand out, pull it back, and this sphere of pulsing rainbow light begins to form in his hands. And then he thrusts his hand forward, throwing the sphere in front of him, saying "Iris pluvia," and a cone of multicolored energy forms in front of him as I cast prismatic spray. And I like to think that it's a very bright, vibrant light, but the energy is completely silent.
So one closest to you first, then second.
We're not getting the deposit back from this one.
So my spell DC is 18.
Right.
The two of them succeed.
Let's say, what happens to the ones who failed first?
Oh,
D8.
I think it's dependent on which color.
Right, but for each target, roll a D8 to determine which color affects it.
All right. Okay. So going in order, the 7 is a 5. The 21 is a 2. The 19 is a 5. And then a 2. Well, that's not very fun. So 2 is 10d6 acid damage, half on a save, successful. And then 5 is
Cold damage.
10d6 cold damage, half as much. So I will roll the dice. 10d6.
Oh. So all of them, oops, that's weird. So all of them are hit alternately with like acid and cold. And you know, all of them take less damage than you might have thought they would.
Mhm.
Because I shit you not, they are resistant to acid and cold damage.
Of course.
Roll anything fucking else.
Right, anything else? Aurelia, if you wanted to go. I assume, is Clave doing anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, so I can see that we are attacking these guys. So I will say a few words, take some sulfur and lick my finger and put like a red line on my forehead and cast Black Furical Death Strike. 5th level,
It sounds cool.
which is just a reflavoring of Flame Strike. Hoping to get the first 2. I think I can get the first 2. I think they're close enough.
I mean, it's a 10-foot radius. You could get the first 3.
Okay, that's why I
If you,
flunked
if
geometry.
you centered it on this
So,
one.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so I hit the first 3 then.
Geometry.
Okay.
DC 18.
They all fail.
All right.
Nice.
I think I gotta roll the band damage.
No, you rolled it.
I did roll it? Oh, yeah,
Yep,
it's up there.
16
Okay,
and
my bad.
14.
Okay. Okay, fire and radiant damage.
So you see, they are all knocked back slightly as they're being pummeled with these black spheres. What does this look like exactly? Because it says it's a vertical column of black spheres. So now I'm thinking it looks like just marbles of negative energy dropping on their heads.
There you go.
Aurelia's opening a portal above them and they just rain down.
And when they break open, that's when you see like you see the fire or the radiant or the glow from the radiant damage.
So now it's their turn. Well, that one's gonna move up
Surprise
to
round, right?
Clave. Yeah, you're right. Surprise round. So they don't get to go. Zarius, it's your turn.
Surprise.
All rise, motherfucker. Um, okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm groups of things. It's not my specialty. I don't know if you know this, but it's not a thing that I do. So yeah, I think what I do here is there's 4 of these motherfuckers. God damn it. I don't want to have to upcast it, but I think I probably should. So I'm gonna cast Bane at 2nd level. Actually, let me double check on the because it's 30 feet. I'm at the move, so what's this? It's just a bench. Okay, yeah, so I should be able to go here. Okay. All right, so I guess I won't have to upcast it because I won't be able to reach the other one. So so just these 3 here closest. I will cast the Bane on.
Okay.
Of course,
One
one
radiant.
saves. It's the one next to us. Um. Yeah, I don't have anything extra. After that,
So that's it?
yep, that's it. Yep.
Okay. It's Aurelia's turn again, unless you want Capri to do something.
I have rolled the Kepri's initiative. Oh yeah, she is right now after me. Actually, let me double check on a spell of hers. Um. Yeah, all right. So I'll have 2, 3. Yeah, she won't be able to. Okay. I think perhaps she will do a sort of strafing attack here. So as she flies to the opposite side, or I guess not really opposite side, but she can fly close and then go up towards the ceiling, so she's out of reach. But I'll have her do color spray on the 2 that are baned. So see if we can take them out of commission for a turn. What does it save actually?
Yeah, what is
You
the
gotta-
save?
It's not a save. You have to roll hit points like sleep.
Oh, that's right.
Oh. I was like,
Uh,
shit.
I didn't realize that's how that was. Okay. I doubt I'll hit any of them then, but 60-10. Well,
Yep.
let's see what happens, I guess. Not a terrible roll, but I don't think I assume they got more than 39 hit points.
Yeah, they do.
Cool.
So now it's Aurelia's turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the illusionary wall gone then?
It is. I just can't select it for some
No,
reason.
that's fine. That's fine. Okay, I think I gotta get right here. And I'm going for this dude is, let's see, 30 feet from me. He's back though. I gotta move up one. My screen changed. Okay. All right. So the third guy in the line. And Aurelia takes out her whip and cracks it on the ground. And casts whips, chains, and lightning.
And what is this spell?
Chain lightning.
What's it actually called though?
So I should be able to hit all of them. If I center it on the third guy, because there's 3 bolts that shoot from that guy that go 30 feet.
Right.
I love the name is whips, chains, and lightning. Like it improves the lighting.
Okay, so first guy, the guy you're directly targeting.
We've already given him enough shit for orgy mage, okay?
True.
So he failed. He takes the 49. And then the other 3 all have to also make a save, I assume.
Yeah, I think, yeah, they all get saved. Yeah. It takes 49. Oh, there's no eating lightning. No blinking.
Is the one that rolled 19 baned by chance?
No, actually, that's the other one. It's this one.
Too bad.
So anything else?
No, that's it.
Clave.
All right. Uh. So. Clave has decided to just go full aggro. So he pulls out a vial with inky black substance within it, and he crushes it in his hand, and then shadow begins to emerge from his closed fist and wraps up his arm along his shoulder through his other arm, and he kind of does the Henry Cavill punch reload.
Uh-huh.
And like a shadowy claws begin to form over his own, and he says Umbra Mortis, and so he's using his Umbral Bolt spell. They're not Fae or Celestials by chance, are they?
Nope. Aberrations.
All right, so the area immediately around me, the lighting begins to dim, and so 3 targets within 30 feet, so that'll be the first 2 then, or the first 3 guys in that line. So they have to make
Dex save.
DC 18 dexterity saves.
So the first guy failed, and then the 2 Bane guys. And then the second Bane guy loses a couple points. So you made
Not enough.
What was the
So he-
damage? You
It's
didn't roll.
5d10, so. Nice, 36 necrotic damage. And then, how does it look like these guys are responding to all of this?
So they have been, knocked about quite a bit, including by like the acid and cold. Like you could see them reacting to it. But they're not exactly like falling over, and because they're aberrations, they are a little hard to read. Clearly, though, the carapace outside of them is being eaten away. The curious little mouth-shaped weapons they have, however, seem to be perfectly intact.
Okay. I am. So let's see, what else can I do? All right, so I'm gonna use the rest of my turn to move back here. And that's my turn.
Oops, that's weird.
Oh shit, they put us in the negative zone.
Uh-oh.
Clearly, they did.
They sent us to the Shadow Realm.
I feel better already.
So yeah, you do see the entire space goes dark. You can still see, but it no longer feels to you like you're on the prime material plane. It feels to you like you're somewhere else.
I was joking. I did not expect that they actually sent us to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, you're not exactly sure. Like, this isn't what you picture as the Shadow Realm. You are in a realm that seems to be just devoid of anything other than a few walls around you. And apparently the tub somehow survived through the sheer will of T-Hole. The
Yes.
tub.
Yes. Power of the whole world.
I think
But-
there was a song all about it. That's the power of love.
Right. It still seems almost as if you can make out shadows falling exactly as they did before. And there does seem to be some source of light, but you're not exactly sure where the light is coming from anymore. You don't necessarily see windows or the normal light sources like you did before. It's just as if you are in an empty void. It feels sort of similar to being in the void itself.
Oh, nice.
But then they begin to move. So, or at least if I was on the right layer, they would begin to move. Let's see. So this one's going to go up to Zarius. So this one. And these other two are going to go towards Aurelia. You see, they move very fluidly. I mean, it is almost like they are flying. You can see their footsteps, but they move without sort of the normal up and down bouncing of somebody walking. So it seems almost as if they are gliding. And two of them attack Zarius.
Wait, hold on. There's a 21 that hits.
I am glad I moved out of range.
So
Oof,
make me a
that's
con
nasty.
save.
Yeah, hold on. It's 26. I gotta make 2 con saves.
Does the 18 hit?
No. AC is 20. All right. Con save.
You made it.
No, that one's good. And then I gotta make a save for concentration. I think I'm good.
And then there'll be 2 attacks against Aurelia, or 2 of them attacking Aurelia, 4 attacks total.
God damn.
Bane,
Okay.
That's true.
the one that hit me, was that one of the was that the first one up here that is not baned? Or
Yeah, it was the top one.
yeah, all right.
And then the top one here loses a little bit.
I don't know what it really is. Not enough.
So it was an 18 and a 24.
I don't think
What's your AC?
Aurelia.
14.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wait, aren't you wearing like an elven chain or something?
You mean the elven chain that was destroyed when I was turned into a child? You mean that one?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, that elven chain. Are you wearing that?
Yeah, the one that got destroyed.
Yeah, did you get that back?
Yeah. Mhm. All right.
So then 4 con saves.
Watch me. Yeah, this is gonna be fantastic. That's fail. Oh,
That's
okay. All right, there's 1. That's fail. Oh, okay. There's only 2
So
fails.
two levels of exhaustion.
All right, so one of these guys that hit me is getting
Hellish Rebuke.
yeah,
Which one? The top one or the bottom one?
the one that's baned.
Okay.
Wait a second, I thought it's some rebuke of the void action.
So he takes full damage. That's their turn. So Zarius, it's your turn.
See, the tricky part now is what spell can I use that doesn't also require concentration since they're baned. Let's have a quick look at the beads, make sure there's nothing here. Okay. So Aurelia's already taken some considerable hits.
Yeah, I'm bloodied.
Yeah, okay, so I'm looking at the beads. It says that I can use the beads to cast one of the spells as a bonus action. So I'll use second level cure wounds. I'll just I got him. Fuck. I'll take the I'm gonna take the dodge action. And then step here to cast cure wounds on.
So as you
yeah.
try to move to step in this negative void, you discover that your feet are just sort of not connecting with the floor. So you actually can't move.
Well, how do I move? I'm attempting to will myself that direction.
Yep, right now you can't move.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I can't heal you from here. I'm sorry. Well. Okay, I guess let's and then to hell with it. I will what's this one here that's baned? I shall put a blight upon him.
Let's see, can't save. Is it half damage?
Half
Doesn't
on a
say.
successful save, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, you did it to the one who's baned, so. you
I
should get
did.
his- I just forget these things. So he
Hey,
failed.
That's a fail.
So he
If
is
he-
in particular not, he is beginning to not hold together as well as the others.
I like to imagine it as I channel the magic into my hand, and as I go to reach out, like this jackal head sort of overtakes my hand and bites into the thing as I touch him.
So yeah, he looks more gravely wounded than the others who seem to be doing much better than him. Is Kevri doing anything? Or are you doing anything else?
No, I don't really have much in the way of bonus actions that are super useful. That don't also involve casting a spell. So Capri, double check. Um uh yeah, all right. This one who's baned near Aurelia, Kefri will cast Suggestion and suggest that he kill this one. Hopefully that bane will be handy.
Hopefully they understand common.
That's what I'm checking on. Is that the wisdom save?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, make a wisdom save. Wisdom save minus 1d4. Oh, fucking Jesus. Okay, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So he doesn't seem to react to it.
Okay.
Aurelia, your turn.
So I guess I noticed that Darius couldn't move too well.
Yeah, you saw his feet sort of flailing, but not actually catching anything under him.
So I guess I would assume that I would incur the same problem.
Yes, probably.
Cannot afford getting hit 4 more times.
Can you thunderwave them?
Or Misty Step or some other form of movement.
Yep, or the one I don't want to have to use, but I may have to use Astral Plague Infector.
God damn it. I love the names of your spells.
What is it you do with this spell? Is it just
It's Dimension Door.
Dimension Door? Okay.
Yeah,
So where do you want to wind up?
all the way at the other end of the room.
Okay, so now you can move yourself wherever you want.
Okay.
That's actually perfect. I'm glad that you did that, Aurelia.
The room typically would have ended about there.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I gotta go move back.
No,
Or
you
no?
can be there,
Right here next to the piano. Okay.
right? And everybody other than Aurelia, make me a con save.
I don't want
It's in the name of the spell. Capri also has to make a save.
What's this for?
It's in the name of the spell.
We're fighting off the infection from getting worse.
I'm not
Zarius
infected.
is- You
Well,
weren't.
you might now be.
Fucking axe and point the shit out of that. Are you kidding me? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, welcome to the club, Zarius. Maybe it doesn't matter, but do these things have to save against plague?
Uh, technically speaking, they do, but I don't imagine they're gonna last long enough to bother. So I'll just assume they all failed.
Okay,
But for a brief second, Zarius, you feel like a sickness, like in the pit of your stomach. And you see what you think looks like a little dark worm just appear out of your stomach and then zip back in.
Fuck.
Clave,
okay. So Clave is continuing to maintain the shadowy arms that are superimposed over his own, but seeing how devastating their physical attacks are, he decides that he needs to take a momentary distraction from the shadow spell, and he mentally and he also silently thanks Aurelia for moving, because he was wondering how he was going to avoid catching her in the area of effect. But he focuses his mind into a point in space, and after a moment there's kind of like an invisible sort of pulse, well, not invisible, but there's like a pulsing in the air, and then after it builds up for a little bit, it explodes in the minds of the creatures. So I'm casting synaptic static on them.
right?
Wait, oh shit. No, I'm not. I don't have the spell slots to do it. Never mind. That sucks. All right. I instead use my Umbral Bolt again. So dexterity saves for 3 of them. We'll go with the 3 that are right on Zarius.
Okay, 2 are on Zarius, and I guess the other baned one.
Yeah.
So top to bottom. Oh, they all failed.
Nice. So that is 5d10 necrotic.
Hmm.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So the one that is still on Zarius looks like it's in pretty bad shape, about as bad as the other one was last round.
I'm
And
kicking
so does-
myself for not using my arcane recovery earlier. That would have been helpful.
So does the third one that you hit. But one of them completely crumbles, and you see pieces of it. It shatters like a statue, and pieces of it begin to float upwards, if upwards makes sense where you are now, and then just begin to break down into further pieces and vanish. So it is almost as if it just begins to evaporate. And it's their turn. So first one's going to continue to attack Zarius. Second one. Still see. So this other baned
Save.
one Yeah, you do have to make a save.
So let me do the damage, minus 21.
27.
Yep, hold on, minus 6 more. And then I failed it.
So 2 levels of exhaustion. The other Bane one,
Gain
He
1 level of
seemed-
exhaustion.
did you make the last one? My mistake.
Yeah. And then I gotta make my save for concentration.
You
Oh,
made a
that's
dexterity
Dex.
save.
There you go.
That's much better.
The other Bane one sort of apparates, but then reappears next to Aurelia.
Wonderful. Of course, a critical hit.
Double crit.
And I'm going to use bonus action and start humming turn back time. You get to roll that one. You ain't getting a critical. It's my ass.
Yeah, I don't even see you.
Okay, well, I can't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 saves, 2
yeah,
con saves.
39. Two con saves. There we go.
You made it. So another level of exhaustion.
Ah,
The one that's next to you is the one that looks pretty beaten up as well. Actually a little bit more beaten up than the first one who got destroyed. And then the one who is in pretty much, he's not in perfect shape. He's been hit too, but he's in better shape than the others. He just begins to float over towards Clave. And I close the sheet and who attacks Clave. But his heart really wasn't in it.
So that second one would hit. But I'm going to use my reaction to turn it into a miss.
Okay. And it's Darius's turn.
All right, so all my baned guys are dead.
Well, one's
So-
over here.
Oh, I can't
One's
see that.
over.
I literally
attacking
can't
over
see anything at all over there.
because of the what's left of the walls. You
Yeah,
only see darkness.
yeah, I see. I see absolutely nothing over there. So, I think that I guess these things seem like they're pretty tough. So I don't need to do. Just looking at breath weapon stuff, but I don't think it's quite gonna cut it. So I'll just. Has this one been? This one's been hit a little bit, right?
Yeah, they've all been hit a little bit.
All right.
That one's in not so good shape.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll just toll the dead of it on it.
Okay. What save is that?
That is a wisdom save. DC 18.
Failed.
Yeah, there it is. Nice.
And that one also begins to shatter and the pieces begin to float up as it breaks apart.
All right. I mean, Kepri could just like rain down a little bit of acid on this guy. A DC 11 deck save on that guy.
Yeah,
Half a-
acid that he's resistant to.
Yeah, whatever. What else is Kepri to do here?
Well,
let
can
let
Kepri
Kepri
even
be
move?
somewhat useful. I that's fair. I don't know. She's can fly and shit. I don't know how that works.
Right, actually, that's true. She can't move either.
That motherfucker just made that save too. Oh, all right. I mean, yeah, Kepri was right here, so I don't know.
Probably better that she's not in the path.
Well, I mean,
getting
it's a
hit.
15-foot. Oh, wait, hold on. What's the
It's a
range of it?
5-foot.
But it's a 5-foot range.
Yeah,
A
it
pu-
is. Yeah.
Puff of
Okay.
acid gas.
All right. Well, then I guess
It
she
would have,
doesn't
it would have
actually do
been
that then.
two damage anyway, so.
It's a very vicious belch that she lets out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, so she'll just like throw dancing lights in its face. Just like make the globules right on his face.
This vaguely humanoid creature now has lights hovering around its head.
He's a rave monster now.
All right.
Aurelia,
Oh, yeah, this is not looking good. I have to fight this guy. No. So really, I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers. It's gonna make a wisdom save.
Motherfuckers have made every goddamn wisdom save almost.
Crap damage.
The important part is that it runs away. Make it have to come back to you.
Yep, failed.
All right.
And you watch it shatter and begin to float up, ultimately just vanishing into nothingness.
Okay, well, good. That was my 7th level spell was worth it then.
Wave.
All right, Clave is gonna focus his shadow energy upon the remaining creature with his Umbolt Bolt. So dexterity save.
Not been doing well with dexterity saves. Not
Excellent.
breaking the tradition.
38 necrotic.
But this one is actually in somewhat better shape than the others. So he's still up. Anything else?
Um, You know what? There's too many questions with these things, like the way that they came in. Clave is wondering if they're even capable of being bound in any way. So he is going to go for broke, pure aggro as I started the combat, using an action point to do another action and use my Umbral Bolt again.
Okay. So. Can he break the row of failures? No.
Ugh, another 24 damage.
So he still looks like he might be slightly better off than some of the other ones were, but he's starting to break apart.
Okay. And he's realizing that he's about to be struck by the thing. He kind of looks at Zarius with eyes that say, "Help me." That's my turn.
And he will strike at you with his maw blade. Oh, he missed.
And another miss. Bam. Man, it was a good thing that I cast mage armor again.
So, and by the way, as you watch, you now see some of like the cracks in its carapace do seem like they seal themselves a little bit. Though it's not a lot.
So
And it's Zarius's turn.
Clave might also, as the thing is trying to strike him and he's kind of ducking away, and I imagine he's also intertwining his illusory magic with his defense. And he just kind of says, "Who sent you? Why are you doing this?"
And so the face of this creature seems to be mostly covered, but you hear what sounds like an uncanny and eerie laugh come back. But it's muffled by this carapace across its face.
Okay.
It's a little girl laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. You hear tee.
It's the fucking Elmo laugh. Oh,
Yeah, that
man,
is how this campaign is going to end. I'm just going to be like, choose the form of the destructor, and then have Elmo show up.
Elmo.
I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm definitely gonna have to fuck with my players. Find some fucking Elmo laugh compilation.
And it's not just any Elmo, but an Elmo riding upon an ivory throne.
That would be pretty creepy, and like as like background sound for the combat, just Elmo laughs over and over again.
Like a tickle me Elmo with the batteries running low.
Zarius, it's your turn.
Yep. I mean, you know, if it works, it works, right? So total dead. That should send over shortly.
Failed.
Nice.
But that is not enough to destroy him.
That fucking bitch. Is it worth? Is it worth a spiritual weapon? Because it's just this one last dude. How's Clave looking?
Oh, he hasn't been struck.
Oh well, then you're fine. I'll pass turn.
Yeah, Clave is much better off than either of you are right now.
Well, then I have zero interest in you. Like
Aurelia.
But Clave gave you the help me eyes.
no, I help whenever you're down.
Do I hear what's going on?
Zarius's preference is clearly for you to be knocked unconscious before he helps, if at all possible.
100%.
Yes, you absolutely can hear that they are still fighting.
Does it still look like I probably can't move?
It does, but give me an insight check.
Oh, boy. Oh, wait, I'm at disadvantage.
So you actually, because you spent time with the seer in the void, and this is akin to being in the void, you actually do know how, you haven't actually had to do it, but you think you do know how to move in this. And it essentially, it requires you to make a wisdom check. And you know that the goal here is that you are trying to create like a spot of gravity to pull yourself towards. So it's generally you move in a straight line, but you pick a spot. And if you could make a DC 10 wisdom check, you will move to that spot within 30 feet.
Okay, well. I'm gonna heal myself before I do anything. Before. I need some health here. Oh, that's 18.
There's a remedy for nothingness.
Alright, yeah, alright, wisdom. Oh, God.
The nothingness
you-
is the remedy, I think.
Yeah. So you try to focus on a spot, but you're just not able to get yourself to move.
Yep. Okay.
Anything else you're doing?
Shit. How far is inspiration? Go, I could yell to Zarius. I don't know if I'm too far away from it.
I think it's like 60 feet,
Yeah.
but I'm not 100% sure.
And I think they don't actually, I'm not sure you have to see them. I think that the target has to be able to hear you.
There might still be a limit though, or like a
Yeah.
distance limit.
There used to be, but I may be
think it's
thinking of
60
like
feet.
3.5.
Come on, come on.
Yeah, it's 60 feet.
Okay, don't worry about that. All right, I'm chilling at the piano.
Yeah, and it's anybody who can hear you, but it's 60 feet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Apparently just screaming out a song. It's not
Yeah.
super inspiring.
Oh, it is to me.
So Clave,
All right. I'm going to once more unleash my umbral bolt upon it. Yes. 40 necrotic.
he's looking very bad.
But still not dead.
Still not dead.
Damn it. Can my luck hold up?
Yep.
Yes, it does.
How's he looking?
My
No.
bobbing and weaving is just too good.
There are a lot of cracks along the carapace now, like he is barely holding it together.
Okay.
But as you watch, they are still slowly fusing and
Okay.
healing.
Well, you know what? Fuck this. Well, I don't need to do anything special. We'll do it. It's your boy, Toll of the Dead. Come on now. Just send it. There it goes.
Oh, failed. And with that, he shatters and begins to evaporate.
Alright,
And
does
Aurelia,
anything-
yeah, nothing immediately changes. But Aurelia is eventually able to sort of will herself to move and so comes into view. Again, sort of gliding rather than walking.
How are you doing that, Aurelia?
Just have to pick a point. Think about where you want to go and go there. Thankfully, that's all you got to do because I don't really know how well I could walk at this point.
Alright, so Clave is gonna try that.
To make a wisdom save or wisdom check rather. Yeah, you're able to do it. It's not as fast or responsive as you're used to. But you
Mhm.
can, move yourself about 30 feet. And as you do begin to see like the features of the room start slowly coming into view again. Although I inadvertently moved the map and so now it's not lined up. So I'm not going to worry about bringing the map back. But within a minute, the room is back and you seem to be back in the prime material plane.
Any of the effects that we just encountered, would the magic or the understanding be apparent to Clave based on what he's witnessed?
I would make me an Arcana check. So you're sure what they did was one of them, or maybe all of them together, did something to shift you all into some dimension that's between the prime material plane and the void. That sort of touched upon both. Why they did that, possibly just to immobilize you, you don't necessarily know. I mean, they must have gotten some advantage from doing it.
Mhm.
Maybe just making it impossible for you to move.
Um,
Aurelia, you were awake when they entered. How did they get in?
One of them just started coming through like the front door and looked like they were using that great big arm just to chew right through the rock.
So it phased through the door and the rock and it chewed through it, or?
Right. You could see the rocks seem to be gone. The rocks you had blocking the door, the whole door seems to be gone and you just see the hallway outside.
Okay. Do any of the hotel patrons come
Staff-
in, or have
staff or patron.
does anybody seem to have noticed the commotion?
Several of the doors to the other rooms are open. There's nobody in the hallway. It seems as if they probably fled. You're not sure exactly when, because they were pretty quiet coming in, but maybe after you blasted them with the prismatic spray.
Okay. So I'm going to focus on the Mirage Arcane and reform the door and the boulders. I'm also going to close off the windows completely.
Right. And
Are-
when you do that, go ahead, sorry, finish your
No,
discussion.
that
I was
that
gonna
was it.
say, several minutes later, you begin somebody is at the door. And then you hear them banging on the door when they can't open it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it shut. And Clave is gonna turn to Aurelia and Zarius. Are you two okay? You look like you took a real beating in that fight.
We'll be fine. Once I get some sleep.
I feel like hell.
And Clave, you also realize that something feels off about you. It's difficult to place exactly what it is.
Okay, Clave's gonna take notice of that.
Let's turn to Aurelia and think, what manner of spell did you cast?
Which time?
The one that infected me.
Well, that was probably the dimension door.
It is supposed to be whenever if we were to teleport near someone who is infected. How is it that you teleporting just infected me?
Well, sounds like an added bonus feature.
Well,
So does this mean
Darius.
Aurelia doesn't actually call it Astral Plague Infector?
Not in polite company.
Not when there's somebody around who might be mad.
Right. It's dimension door.
well, Zarius, it's unfortunate that you've been infected, but I mean, now you're just in the same situation as all of us. We do have something bigger to be concerned about. As you guys can hear, they're banging at the door. I don't know how long it'll take before they find entrance, but we should probably leave. What time of night is it right now?
It's about 2:30 in the morning.
We can field their questions.
No, we can't. Because I can't disguise you guys. That spell ran out. It only lasts 8 hours. You would appear as your normal forms. I would be able to appear as they are familiar with, but all of you would be strangers.
Um,
Do I have enough time to use arcane recovery?
How long does Arcane Recovery take?
It's as part of a
Short
short
rest.
rest.
So, I mean, probably not before they find some way through the door.
Okay. Yeah, so unfortunately, they're not necessarily going to be very receptive to strangers that seem to have come in and disrupted everything, especially when they find that everything is in its place as far as they're concerned.
I still do not see an issue. We've had to deal with far worse than common folk. It's not like they will attack us.
They might.
They will learn very quickly that that is a bad idea.
40 first level commoners.
Just throw up a spirit guardians and they just die running into it.
Let's just use the windwalk ability to escape through the window and then find some other inn that we can stay for the rest of the night.
Sorry, it's just not keen on the idea, but I mean, whatever. He will just start packing his shit up.
Are there any fragments of the creatures left?
Right,
Any
I would need-
remains?
No, they all evaporated, and they all evaporated in that other plane. You know, but just to be clear, you could easily turn this place essentially into a bank vault. Then they're not getting through the door.
Yeah.
Let's make it 6 feet thick so that we can't hear them bitching outside.
All right, well, that's so Clave would offer that option as well. He doesn't really want to stick around, but he does recognize that it is going to be relatively safe.
Just, do we think that they're gonna bring other people if they can't get in? Are they gonna call for the guards or?
Probably. I'm sure they're not used to not being able to gain access into their rooms.
Still think it would be perfectly fine to talk to them and tell them that we are the ones that are here. I never disguise my voice as you do. You can appear as you were.
Yeah, but I'm just a servant. We're all just servants. It was Beehole that they were talking to. And since Beehole is not here, only T-Hole, they're not going to listen very well. They're going to assume that we perhaps kidnapped him or other.
So we just
things.
convince them that that is not the case
How?
by talking to them.
You have a lot more faith in my ability to talk us out of a situation than I do. If I had not used all of my spells, perhaps I could have enhanced the persuasion. But without that, I don't see even with the most charismatic charm that I could muster.
Didn't need to roll, but whatever. I cast enhance ability. Here.
I mean,
There.
Clave does feel
Drop
more
the full one.
confident, but
Eagle Splendor. There. You hear, like in the distance, the eagle, like a soaring eagles screech out. And it's almost inspiring you. Like, yeah, you know what?
okay. All right, so Clave is going to shake his hands, crack his neck a bit, crack his knuckles, and I'm doing it all, and I'm realizing that I'm not on camera because my camera doesn't work.
Right.
And he transforms into Beehole. He manipulates the room to be as they are expecting it to be. Clave walks over
And
to the rocks.
you're not wearing pants.
Of course not, I'm Beehole.
Okay.
T-Hole's like,
then-
hey, I'm bigger than that.
Away. I do not speak to the help. And he shakes his head and he just says once more in his normal Clave voice, "This is a bad idea." And then he disperses the boulders and throws open the door and says, "What is the meaning of all of this noise?"
Sir, are you okay? There's been some sort of disturbance up here. We think it may have been coming from your room. There was a
There's been nothing
s-
here except a soundly sleeping nobleman until you came barging into the door, creating all that racket.
you can see he's kind of there's actually several people at the door. Um, three of them are fairly like burly, like they may be security for this place. They are lightly armored and carrying weapons. The guy you're speaking to, though, he is smaller, unarmored, and seems to just be like a hotel employee. He is sort of straining to look past your relatively thin frame. It's like there was in the floor below, there were people who say that there were lights and burning and acid that came dripping through the floor. Are you sure you're okay?
As
I
you can
thought
see,
there-
I'm perfectly fine, but I want to know what your guests were partaking in. I might want some of that for myself. Seems like a party was going on. Why wasn't I invited?
There was extensive damage downstairs.
Well, it has nothing to do with anything that we've been doing. As I said, we've been sleeping until you disturbed us.
So make me a deception check. With
At
advantage.
advantage.
Well, I don't mean to disturb you.
Good. Then
If
go
you're,
away. We have the night. We will be out in the morning as protocol demands.
of course, if anything, please be on your guard. Something strange is afoot. Again, sorry to disturb you. And then he turns and says, we need to go check the rooms above. Maybe it was something upstairs.
All right. And I will slam the door emphatically. And then go, "Ugh, I feel dirty." And he immediately returns to his normal form. And then resets the room to be a vault.
Does he remember to put pants back on?
Yes, he does.
Wasn't sure. Maybe if like you got used to it and it's like, you know what, this kind of nice.
Nah,
I totally
Cla-
get it
Clave-
now. I get why
I-
T-Hole does this.
I understand.
The freedom, the airiness, everything's so
Yeah.
cool.
So
So you do, periodically, well, I guess it's untrue. You've returned it to a bank vault, so you don't really hear anything outside. But you can imagine that they are still milling about trying to figure out what just happened. But they do not bang on the door anymore.
that actually worked. Zarius, thank you. Your confidence was well placed.
Didn't even need your spell.
All right, so we have at least until the night. We could stay longer. They can't exactly kick us out. Darius Aurelia, you look pretty rough. You should probably get some sleep.
Yeah.
It might be best to continue with the watches. Even though we are sealed again. If they were able to eat through the rocks, who knows what else they might have.
Right. And actually, I forgot you rolled like a 30 or something on your check to know about these guys. Or
Yeah.
like mid-20s. You would know that maw weapon they have can eat through anything. Even adamantine can be chewed like it was nothing by that maw.
So that explains that. Yeah, so Clay would share that in case anybody was interested. But then at Zarius's suggestion, Clay says, I'm kind of wired. I'll keep watch for the rest of the evening. You guys get some sleep.
Zarius doesn't say a damn thing and just goes and lays down.
He also makes sure that there are very comfortable beds placed for each of you. And then Clave goes to sit in a chair in the corner. He'll create a curtain around himself so that the light doesn't bother anybody, and then create a light source to read his shadow book by. And continue his arcane studies for the evening.
Oh, message sent to Zarius. But the night passes. You think maybe there was like another knock on the door at some point closer to morning, but it was very hard to make out with the several feet of plating in the way. And it's not clear anybody even bothered trying to get in.
So during that time, in the night while I'm up, can I use my arcane recovery?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm gonna need that since I'm not gonna be recharging my spells.
So
Because I'm not getting enough sleep.
do Zarius and I get a long rest then, or?
Yes, if you sleep in a bit.
Yeah, I plan
Get
on
your
it,
8
yeah.
hours.
Okay, I can get 7 levels of spell slot back. So I'll take a 5th level and a 2nd level.
Does that remove one level of exhaustion or?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
I was just imagining like T-Hole gets up, stretches, yawns. What did I sleep through? Weren't we setting a trap?
Trap was sprung. We won. They lost. We don't really know much more than we did before.
Oh, you should have questioned them. He goes to get in the tub.
Why didn't we think of that?
Question was asked. You just did a funny laugh. He just did a funny
Hey.
laugh and said, haha, that tickles.
Try taking one alive next time. Maybe take
So-
2 alive and pit them against one another. Put them in separate rooms.
That one already spilled the beans. What do you have to say about it?
So,
Did you see the Community for the second D&D episode?
mm-mm,
Yeah.
not yet.
It's not my favorite episode, even though I appreciate that it's a second D&D episode, but they do have an interrogation scene that I just absolutely love.
They only had the 2, right? That I'm aware of.
Right.
I
and
saw,
it was
at
it
least.
was in the second one when
Oh,
the guy
that was with
the
Mike
dude's
from Breaking
son.
Bad.
yes, Mike from Breaking Bad.
The one old man's son. They're trying to like reconnect him or some shit.
Right. But at one point he realizes goblins can like talk, and he's like, I want to take 2 alive. And he's like, the other guy, he is ready to give you up. And Abed playing the goblins like, I was best man at that guy's wedding. And he's just going back and forth, taking little snippets of what they say, twisting it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the episode, but I have seen that scene and it's a great scene. So Clay would say I've recovered enough that I can disguise us once again. But it'll be at least a day before I can recreate my Mirage Arcane. And so we will need to be either remaining here beyond our welcome or finding new accommodations until I can recharge my magic. By the way, I can't remember, has Clave had any issues with the cult of Vecna with the group, or was that before Clave came in?
I think
If
that was all before Clave came in.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we probably don't realize it was them.
Like the primary time was that incident with the priest that Aurelia did the epic counterspell on.
Those
Right.
weren't
Right,
Vecna
that
people.
was, yeah, that was Thurston. That was a
Oh,
different. cult.
Dresden. Okay. So I guess that
Vecna was like the very first adventure. It was the dwarven
right,
blacksmith.
Karazul
Right.
or Karahul.
And right. And the prefect at the prison and his daughter were Vecnites.
So that actually, with Clave recalling that, he's going to turn to the others and ask, what have you done to cross paths with the cult of Vecna and get so upset them so that they would send assassins after you, after us?
They sent they had some operation going far north. We managed to stop it. Some mind flayer creature was performing some rituals. We still have-
wait a minute. A mind flare.
That was not a minute.
You're telling me that you faced a mind flare? An actual mind flare?
That's what I was told it was.
That is deeply concerning.
More concerning than the fact that it was the cult of Vecna.
Yes.
Care to enlighten us?
Not particularly, aside from saying that I had believed and hoped that they were no longer a part of this world.
That one is not anymore. Well,
Yeah. Kepri would add, yeah, but that didn't stop him from coming back. We
yeah,
just banished him right away.
the spirit does linger.
I assume that's an effect of whatever magic the cult of Vecna uses. But
I believe there are certain stones that one can slay these Vecnites that would prevent them from reemerging. I don't remember what they're called.
they're the
just-
Karn stones, aren't they?
I mean, the ones you saw, the ones up north are generally just called tors, but that just means rock. There's just special tours with these glyphs on them, these glowing glyphs. And but
I
Khepri,
I don't know where
Khepri would
Clave
add-
is from.
Right, Khepri.
Yeah.
Well, Clave. I guess I don't really necessarily know everything about where Clave was raised, but you would be vaguely familiar with the fact that there are these markers. And that's that they're talking about. But so far as you know, the markers are more or less just markers.
Mhm,
They're like milestones.
right.
What
But
about
Khepri
Khepri?
would also add, we also learned you can kill them with P-hole's dagger.
The dagger is dangerous for everyone.
The dagger
That's
that
good to
identified
know.
him as a murderer.
I'm wondering, I mean, the magic that was used in that battle, transporting us to a realm between realms. Oh, I guess it's not necessarily very similar to what happened at the consulate. That was more of an area of effect spell. But do you
Yes,
think
we could
that
leave
was
that.
the Vec Knights?
We had literally no information. Fair chance that it was some assassin trying to get to us, but it also could have been a political assassination.
I had thought that the target was the ambassadors, but now I am curious, were we actually their true intended target?
And Khepri would add, well, Cirrus was killed with a knife exactly like T-hole's knife. And that's apparently a Vec Knight weapon. So
Yes,
there's
indeed.
some relation.
Well, so what is our next move? Might there be more assassins waiting for us in the city?
Maybe. Assuming they know to look for us. They would have to perform their scrying ritual to know what we look like. If you could shift what we look like every so often, it would likely make it more difficult.
I
Every-
have been.
Every
You-
10 minutes or so.
I mean, I could do that, but that would draw a lot of attention. We'd need to be hiding in order to do that, to not. Because I don't know if you guys are familiar, but changing forms like that so easily tends to be associated with my kind, and my kind are not very well tolerated. But
Either way, we shouldn't linger here. We should leave.
perhaps it's a good time to start our journey to your patron's lair.
Yes, we must not dawdle.
Are
I was
both of you
reminded.
fit to travel?
I am fine. I was reminded in a dream last night of the Cirrus's words.
What were her words? Which words? She said many
Darius
words.
just
Yeah.
said that end of sentence.
Birds.
Yet in the fullness of time, one of these must come to pass. A nation destroyed or a mad god released. Both may yet occur if celerity is not cultivated. Swiftness is required to prevent either, and the speed of the gods to prevent both.
Well, we may not have the speed of the gods, but we have the speed of the wind.
That does come from holy beads.
So let us set out. If Aurelia, you feel well enough to travel.
I mean, I suppose I could. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to ask the gods to intervene and transport us to a safe location near the patron's lair. Look at that fucking shit.
Wow. That is awesome.
Talk about speed of the fucking gods.
Yeah. The dice gods were listening. And they saw fit to bestow upon us the blessing of their will.
Well, if you need to call
So-
the game here so that you can prepare,
So
I understand.
yeah. So I probably was going to call the game around now anyway, but so before we go though, so I assume you utter this prayer out loud. Like what is the ritual that you do to invoke the gods here?
You know what? I kind of picture almost now a little bit of the ghost weed is involved. Just one hit and the eyes go white. And then I utter the prayer.
Okay. So as the words just barely have left Zarius's lips, a mighty wind just begins to roar all around you. You see the walls of this vault-like structure that you've created begin to just fly apart and disappear. Where there was the giant blast of the prismatic spray, you see that the actual floor of the real room has been torn asunder, and there is now a gaping hole where acid and cold and fire have all burned through. As the illusion is dismantled and disappears into shadow.
They're
the
gonna go in
wind-
there like these motherfuckers. It did happen in here.
As the wind roars around you, there is a bright flash and you're all blinded momentarily. You then find yourself atop what appears to be just a flat plateau. Pretty high up. You're probably about 500 feet in the air in the midst of mountains. Clearly, this is all desert region, and Zarius would recognize these are almost certainly the mountains in which the patron's lair is located. Also, you know, you all now have the benefit of a long rest, including Clave.
Nice.
And it appears to be early morning.
Awesome.
but they did not actually provide you with like a map, so you don't know exactly where you are. You just know the general area.
That's fine. We can figure it out.
We
Whoa.
didn't get an additional long rest. It's the same long rest.
Well, Clave didn't get a long rest in
Right,
at all.
okay.
So, you and Zarius probably already had all the benefits you were going to get. Actually, yeah, and all of your exhaustion is gone to the extent that there was any.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, take that. Get that.
Zarius,
where
that
we
is
can wrap it up.
probably the most impressive thing I've seen you do yet.
It was not me. You can thank the gods. Zarius is a humble man.
Clave's not really religious. So he's not quite prepared to thank the gods.
Well, we could leave you there.
No.
You know what? Fuck this guy.
Happy to travel first class.
The gods, you know what?
Destiny
Fuck
has
this
touched
dude.
me too.
And we'll
the hell with this
wait
guy.
until next session to figure out if the gods remember to bring T-Hole.
Yeah. We have Kefri. I hope.
You know what? In my head, I'm imagining we're all there and we're like, wait, where's T-Hole? And all of a sudden we hear like a slowly volume increasing. "Ah!" He just falls on his head in the middle of the room.
No. I'm picturing the whole fucking tub. Splash water.
Yeah.
And then T-Hole slow falls like a leaf into it.
The Mario tail.
Yeah, except it's not his tail.
You're right.